You are listening to Knackers in the Breeze, the podcast, with your hosts, Ryan and Barry.
Would you rather have cheddar cheese for knees, or a talking dog that only speaks in Portuguese? Or to make yourself feel really dry, would you towel dry between your thighs, or dangle out your knackers in the breeze?
Welcome to episode 35 of Knackers in the Breeze with me, Ryan.
Me, Bartholomew.
And returning as a regular guest, it's Josh.
Hi.
Welcome.
Happy to be here.
We are the podcast that attempts to achieve philosophical enlightenment by answering hypothetical questions, playing podcast games, participating in themed quizzes, and trying a hand at being agony aunts by giving advice to people who didn't ask for it.
So the theme quizzes are now an integral part of our enlightenment.
It sounds like you don't like that.
But I'm just asking. Is it?
People like it, I think.
I like it. I learn from it. And I play along at home. I play along home and I'm like, yes, I know that one. I don't, but you guys don't know that. But yeah, I think keep them coming.
Yeah. So 23rd of February is the Emperor of Japan's birthday, and it's a national holiday in Japan.
Wow.
So
what's his name? The Emperor?
Nah. Oh, that might even be a question later, because we've got a themed quiz.
Begins with N. Begins with N.
But you can ask me later.
Bank. I'm going to Google it quickly.
And
for the records, Barry is literally looking up in his phone.
No, it was a joke. It was a funny joke.
I don't want to be that guy.
I took too far. Episode 35 is quite an achievement, by the way.
Yeah.
It's got a certain ring to it.
35.
2 years older than Jesus. Brilliant.
We always related to Jesus somehow.
I do.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Have you got like a man crush on Jesus?
I've got religion in my heart. If that's a man crush, then yes.
I feel like he set the benchmark really high for a lot of things, like what he'd achieved. Is he 33 when
33
he died?
when he died. I mean, he technically came back to life, but then he zoomed back up, didn't he? Disappeared.
He did all that. Didn't do 35 podcasts. Winning.
Didn't even do one podcast. It's
I don't think
what a loser.
Didn't even do 35 sermons.
Did he not?
No.
Didn't even have 35 followers.
He should have, because he had 11 guests, 12 guests that would have been, he could have just cycled through.
12 influencers on Instagram.
Yeah. He missed a trick there. Instead of just selling fucking books town to town.
Right, so as we say, we are the podcast that attempts to achieve philosophical enlightenment, and beforehand we've been known to answer some hypothetical questions. So do you want to get straight into a question and do the quiz afterwards?
Yeah.
Yeah, question.
So yeah, the questions might not be Japanese related.
Oh, then no. No. Yeah, I don't mind. Yeah, let's do it, man.
Yeah.
Because even the Japanese don't do everything Japanese, do they? Even they talk about things that aren't Japanese. So it's the most Japanese thing you can do is have a non-Japanese question.
I feel like they're quite enlightened anyway, so they don't need to be asking each other questions. They just know.
Okay.
Okay, actually,
nonsense. I have no evidence of that.
I'll start with a little bit of feedback from last week. Last week we spoke about, is it acceptable to listen to Gary Glitter and the Lost Prophets? So
No.
I put it on Instagram as a little poll for the people that follow us, and on Facebook, and come back with two different results. So on Facebook, it come back with 50-50 for yes and no, is it acceptable to listen to Gary Glitter. On Instagram, it come back as 71% for yes, it's unacceptable to listen to Gary Glitter, and no, it's not unacceptable. It's 7-4 in total, which I thought would be much more in favour of it's unacceptable.
Can I say that I voted one way on Instagram and I voted the other way on Facebook by accident? My Facebook one, I put, I don't know which way I went. Basically, I said it was acceptable under the right circumstances, and I explained it. I think I sent in some feedback. So that Facebook score does swing it one way or the other.
So if we just take yours out, would it still be 7-4? Because you voted one way and the other, we just take
means,
both of yours out.
Yeah.
So yeah, it wasn't as cut and dry as I think it would be, as I thought it would be, because it was quite a strong opinion of no, never listen to him under any circumstances. But yes, I suppose it's not as simple as that.
We've solved nothing.
We've solved nothing. That's what we're known for. Welcome to Knackers in the Breeze.
Enlightenment.
So for me, it was about whether they were doing it at the time. So, for example, I've been watching the R. Kelly thing. Have you seen the R. Kelly documentary?
No.
So he was obviously doing stuff with younger girls whilst he was making songs, and there's hints of that in his songs, which is really dark. Therefore, boycott the shit out of that. Whereas with Gary Glitter, what was the big song? Rock and Roll Number 2?
Rock and Roll Part 2.
Gang.
That was done in, I think it was like 5 or 6 years before the first offence known
First
so therefore
known
it's
offence,
okay.
yeah.
I mean, he might have done something beforehand, but we don't know that. So therefore it's okay to listen to Rock and Roll Number 2.
Well,
in my opinion.
all those people in like the role of celebrity abuse their power to do that. So
sure.
maybe he didn't at that time, but he would have been a celebrity at that point. So
There's no evidence.
Yeah,
So
well,
listen to
yeah.
the shit out of that song.
Yeah, and it was a different time. We've talked about this. Different time.
yeah, but it is acceptable to listen to it now. That's the
Yeah, I mean, no, because if that's the case, we would stop reading all sort of. We wouldn't listen to ancient writers from the Greek world. Ancient philosophers. We'd go write it all off because he was probably shagging a little boy or he was taking part in orgies. For them, brilliant. For us, we don't like that, but we like your work. Pick and choose.
Yeah.
We can't pick and choose.
all right. So
And that's that.
Draw a line under that list. Move past it.
We've solved something there.
right, just to bring the mood up a little bit.
Does it need bringing up?
Well,
Can I just say,
Go on.
we can't move past it, but we do need to acknowledge, and this doesn't obviously translate to the listeners, but Barry's wearing love heart sunglasses. Can we upload that somehow? Because that's brought my mood right up.
Joe, have you ever read Lolita?
No,
Are you aware of Lolita?
I've heard of it.
isn't
Yeah.
the man who sort of runs off with an underage girl, isn't it?
Yeah, he has a sort of wild, he's quite, he has feelings for this young underage girl. Heart-shaped glasses.
Is that
That's just
pivotal?
occurred to me
Okay,
now. Yeah. No, that's what she wears.
I've got concerns at the moment.
Well, I just thought about that now. I didn't make the connection, but
Consciously.
my favorite program, Mr. Robot, Darlene wears heart-shaped glasses, and I thought, these are cool. They're only a
They
pound.
really suit you, man.
They're only a pound, man.
Bold move, and it looks really good.
I just winked, but you couldn't see.
They're sunglasses.
Right. Yeah. To bring the mood up a bit, we've got a question from a book I've just started reading called Travelers in the Third Reich
Oh, I saw that, and I was very close to buying it.
by Julia Boyd. Imagine that it is the summer of 1936 and you're on a honeymoon in Germany. The sun is shining, the people are friendly, life is good. You have driven south through the Rhineland, admiring its castles and vineyards, and have watched as huge heavenly laden barges ply their way slowly up the Rhine. Now you're in Frankfurt. You have just parked your car, its GB sticker prominently displayed, and you're about to explore the city, one of the medieval architecture gems of Europe. Sounds great. Then out of nowhere, a Jewish-looking woman appears and approaches you. Radiating anxiety, she clutches the hand of a limping teenage girl wearing a thick built-up shoe. All the disturbing rumours you have heard about the Nazis, the persecution of the Jews, euthanasia, torture, and imprisonment without trial are at that moment focused on the face of this desperate mother. She has seen your GB sticker and begs you to take her daughter to England. What do? Do you turn back on her in horror and walk away? Do you sympathise but tell her there's really nothing you can do? Or do you take the child away to safety?
Well, did you write that?
No, that's by Julia Boyd.
So that was an extract.
That's an extract from Travellers in the Third Reich.
Oh, I thought really well written.
But as I read that, I thought that could be a little topic for a comedy podcast.
Fuck me. So wait,
yeah, wow.
I'm aware of what's going on in this country.
No, I think it's all idyllic.
1936 was 3 years before the war started, so these would have been like sort of rumours or heavily suggested in the media that things like this are happening.
It's questionable why you'd even choose to go on a beautiful romantic honeymoon, isn't it? A little bit.
What, to Germany?
Like if we had like what's going on like Myanmar and places like that, like should we go there for a honeymoon?
Well, people still go to China, and there's like sort of a load of human rights abuse there, and
this was just before the World War II, so therefore everything was probably quiet.
Yeah, it's
That's
sort
what I mean.
of,
That's what I
sort
mean.
of unconfirmed.
So
you
in
would
light,
go.
that's what I mean. So in light of that, I wouldn't do anything. I'd just go, get off me, and just keep going.
You'd probably think this is
I
a mad
honestly
woman.
would.
I'm
I
gonna
honestly
move on.
would. I'd be like, oh, get off.
It's like what would happen if you went out and someone did that to you now?
100%.
What would you do? You'd probably recoil, get in your car and drive
Yeah,
off.
I'd go, oh,
You
sorry,
probably
mate.
would.
Like, I can't help. Sorry. And then just keep on waltzing.
Waltzing past the Jew fighting for her life.
But the thing is, like, what does she want me to do? Put
She wants
the kid in the car and sort of take her out the border?
Yeah, smuggle her back to England.
No, because I think in my naivety, I'd think the situation can't be that bad. She's just another chancer.
Yeah,
Honestly, I would. I really would. I'm being
I think
very
you would
honest.
in
but
that context.
in that paragraph, it confirms that everything you've heard, the euthanasia, the persecution of Jews and stuff, is all true. So it's not like you're naive at that point. You know all this is happening, and this kind of confirms it all.
I think that shifts my opinion. But you would have to do something.
That changes.
I'd imagine.
If you know that for a fact, so if I don't take this young child and mother, and the mother, or just the child?
Just the child.
God, if I don't help her, then chance she will be killed or thrown in a
Is there
camp.
much risk to me doing so, though? Like if I was to take her and I got stopped?
I don't really know at that point. I don't think
so.
You probably won't be able to take her back to England because she hasn't got a passport.
Just drop her off on the way.
Yeah, I'd say maybe you could take her and drop her off in France or the Netherlands or wherever way you're going.
How close were they doing custom checks back then? Could you just stuck her in the boot with like a blanket over her and gone, just fags and booze, mate? Like being serious, they would have gone.
I imagine going into Germany after the First World War, it probably would have been a load of customs checks and going into like a fascist country and stuff. It probably
so going out would be tough. Wouldn't be as easy to go. This is my daughter, and they would have gone. Yeah,
honestly,
right.
I don't really know what it'd be like.
What was it like coming in for us?
I don't know what it's like.
Who am I with my wife?
Yeah,
or
I imagine
husband?
you would be. Yeah.
Okay. What do they think of the matter?
I doubt you'd be with your husband because they.
Germany.
Yeah. Well, we would have lied. We're reporters.
Yeah.
No, we wouldn't have said that either.
just to be safer, with the BBC, we'd like to speak to Hitler, please.
Yeah, they'd be like, we're a couple of photographers out here having a great time. Love your country.
I think if you're genuinely scared for yourself, you wouldn't probably help because in an ideal world we would help, obviously, but I don't think I would.
It's not that simple.
If I was worried, if I was worried that I would get stopped and they were like, "What are you doing, smuggling Jews out of the country? You're going to get executed as well." I probably wouldn't take that risk if I'm honest with you.
I wouldn't. I'm a coward. I wouldn't do it.
Yeah,
but I wish I did. Yeah.
If I knew that the exit out of Germany, or just get a far enough away for her to cross the border on her own through the Black Forest or whatever,
Gatto,
I would take that. Lovely. I don't. You completely thrown me off my answer with that little Gatto thing.
Sorry,
it wasn't like a good answer whatsoever, wasn't I?
Let them eat cake. Problem solved.
Yeah,
I'll slip her sort of,
a bit out of the city, and she can deal
Deutschmark, whatever they used at the time, and just go. I'm sorry, this is all I've got. Take this. Go. Leave the country another way.
I'll drop her off near the border and just...
you can probably
go north.
Take them both rather than just taking the daughter. Take them both and drop them off by Switzerland or...
Yeah, there we go.
Something like that.
Do that.
Can I ask how Jewish looking the girl is?
What do you want?
No, you can't.
Because if I could just say, if I get stopped, this is my daughter, Janet, they might not question
I imagine a lot of Jews that were trying to hide themselves in Nazi Germany would like bleach blonde their hair. So she wouldn't be blonde. She wouldn't be Aryan looking. So probably people would sort of ask questions for people who aren't like blonde hair, blue eyes, Germanic looking. So
I think, to be fair, I'd struggle to get out of Nazi Germany the way I am.
I think I'd be all right. I grew up. I grew up with like very blonde curly hair and very like sort of sharp blue eyes. And my mum always said to me as a small child, Hitler would have loved you.
It's a shame Daddy doesn't, but Hitler would have loved you.
You would have been fine in Nazi Germany.
That's so reassuring that you would have survived one of the biggest atrocities in the world. You would have been okay.
Yeah. Fucking white privilege. You would have survived Nazi Germany.
Yeah.
You would have been one of the persecutors.
Fuck.
No, but you would have been. I'm not saying it's your fault.
We would have clashed, yeah.
You would have been. You would have been wearing a uniform, definitely.
The only way I'm like a Nazi is just in the quizzes, okay?
That is not right.
Yeah.
Das ist nicht. Well, I look forward to the quiz.
Right. Well, do you want to get onto it then?
Have you introduced gold stars or bonus points for the first time?
No.
Fucking revolution. Okay, well, I'm giving away.
Did you want to do a quiz for next episode?
I can do a quiz for the next one, yeah.
Yeah.
And it will have points for inspirational answers. So if you don't know it, I will reward you if it's a clever answer.
Creative
That's
answer,
fair
yeah.
enough, right? You can copy that rule.
Like it's QI or something.
Yes, yeah, a little bit more QI. So
which is ironic because you're like the Alan Davis of the quizzes.
But ironically, Alan Davis is always the cleverest one. He just doesn't let the world know it.
Well, he's hiding it very well.
For 19 seasons in a row. Maybe more than that. It's way more than that, isn't it?
Dear Barry, I've asked you a question, but it's been derailed. I left my name, my location, on the age on the email. I feel like this podcast relationship will start growing stale, and this lack of reply is becoming beyond the pale. All I want is to feel you inside me. The love I feel for you is so strong that it blinds me. I just need to feel your whole pelvis behind me. It's strange hearing your voice and how insane it drives me. Off Rose Cold, I'm listening to Knackers in the Breeze. You can find them on all platforms.
iTunes and Spotify.
So to celebrate the birthday of the Emperor of Japan,
What's his name? Sorry.
Naruhito.
Okay, I just remember that.
Yeah, it's not. I had to look it up. It's not one of
okay.
the questions, but it's in one of the questions.
Right. Okay.
Naruhito.
So
Naruto.
Is he a nice guy, by the way? He's not going to turn
I
out.
don't know much about it. I know that his his granddad or his great granddad was Hirohito,
Right.
and that was the Empire of Japan in the Second World War, and he
So they've kept
commissioned.
it in the family.
I imagine they would have done.
Is
yeah.
it like, a bit like the royal family then, in that sense? Or,
Yeah, well, it's emperors and stuff, isn't there?
or like the president of the United States?
And they're known for going into Southeast Asia and taking it all over and causing a lot of like atrocities. So can't be.
Here's to him.
But then again, I am
birthday.
very much of an advocate of you can't be blamed for what your father has done. So
Well, Hitler.
my dad is not Hitler. I've said so many times. It is not. It is not. I will not take this.
I saw that. That Hitleritarian spit
It
that came
came
out.
very natural to you.
Yeah.
I'll just throw that out there.
There's a globule of hate fell out of your mouth.
So to celebrate the birthday of Emperor Naruhito, we have done a quiz for you. And here it goes. Who wants to go first? Who wants to go second?
I always let the guest go first.
But that usually backfires, doesn't it?
What?
Just
always
someone shout
backfires,
first.
yeah.
Someone shout second.
Second.
Josh, where do you want to go?
First.
Okay. Right. So
He'll start off with easy, won't he? Always.
right. Yeah. Wait.
We'll
It will
see.
start off easy and progressively get
I gave
more
you the
difficult.
option. Barry, I gave you the option.
I know. Yep.
You're happy with your options? Happy with your choices?
I'll stand by
go
my
first.
decision,
I'll
yeah.
go first.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. I'm not standing by my decision. I'll go second.
I'll go first.
Okay. Right. Barry, what is the Japanese form of poetry that consists of one line of 5 syllables followed by 7 syllables ending in a line of 5 syllables?
I know this because in my wanky teenage years, I had a little book that carried around with me.
Used to
though.
wank
You've still
to-
got it. You've still got
I've still
that.
got
Used
that
to
book.
wank
yeah.
to Japanese
I could go
poetry.
and get that book now, and it's full of haikus.
That
Full of
you've
them.
written or
That I wrote. I'd go around and go, and write a haiku. Just put it in my pocket and carry on.
right. That's definitely a feature for next episode.
I swear
That
on my life.
needs-
And I swear on my
we
life.
can make it a feature for this later episode.
And I remember a couple of them now, and it's fucking
I
embarrassing.
feel like your sign off for every podcast should be a haiku of your experience.
At the time, I was probably about 15. I thought, this is brilliant. Like, this is so enlightened. I was like, this is going to change everything. Never show it to anyone. Ever. Never did anything with it.
Do you know what changed the world? A haiku.
I've got more stories about haiku as well, but I'll tell you that another time.
Tell us a story about the haiku in a haiku.
Okay, that's challenge.
Wow.
That's brilliant. Haiku.
I'm pleased you went first because I have no stories about haikus.
I've got...
Oh, you could have done that. I'm pleased you went first. Gratitude is on my part. Go on, Barry.
Well done.
Well done. Didn't make massive sense, but okay.
I'm bowing to you.
Josh,
Hello.
what is the name of the tallest mountain in Japan?
Fiji. Mount Fiji.
Mount Fuji. Well done. Barry,
Bazashimo.
what is the currency used in Japan?
It's not shekels, is it?
Schmeckles.
I feel like I should know this. Japanese. What do they say? Oh, you got any Japanese?
Pornography?
Japanese. What do they say? Yen.
Correct.
Oh, thank fuck for that.
These are the easy ones.
Here we go.
I think you'll know this. Josh, after beating Colombia in the FIFA World Cup 2018, what were the Japanese football fans doing in the stadium that caused an internet
do you know what?
sensation?
They were tidying up after themselves and after the other fans, I believe.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about the other fans, but yes, that's correct. They're picking up
They
their
won
own
the
litter
hearts.
and sweeping the floors.
That was brilliant. Yeah. I love that.
And I don't know if this is, I don't want to jump the gun, it might be a question later, but when they got knocked out of the World Cups, they tidied up the change rooms and left a note saying, FIFA, thank you for having us.
Oh,
Adorable.
that's adorable.
Manners.
Barry, which of these is not a Japanese car manufacturer?
Oh, God.
Hyundai, Honda, Nissan, or Mazda?
Is it a trick question? It's like, they're all...
No.
Okay.
If you don't get it, you're racist, by the way.
Yeah, I don't know, because one of them could be Korean for all I know. I don't know.
Why? Because it's all the same? Is that what you're going down?
You said that. That says more about you than it does me. No.
I read the lines that you wrote down.
Could you repeat them one more time? And I won't waste any more time. I just want to hear them.
Hyundai, Honda, Nissan, Mazda.
Nissan.
It's Hyundai. And they are Korean. South Korean.
Take it back. Take it back.
Do you know what? Fair play to you. Fair play to you.
Oh, Josh.
Right, Josh. Which of these martial arts is Japanese? Wing Chun, Jiu-Jitsu, Taekwondo, or Jeet Kune Do?
I know quite confidently it's the first one because Itsu refers to when they use a sword and Do is when they use their hands.
Do you want me to repeat them? So
Yes,
it's Wing
please.
Chun,
That one's the incorrect answer.
Jiu-Jitsu,
No, the correct answer, sorry.
I disagree.
Wing Chun, Jiu-Jitsu, Taekwondo, Jeet Kune Do.
I believe it's the first one.
Wing Chun.
Mhm.
It's Jiu-Jitsu.
Oh, bollocks.
Wing Chun sounds so Chinese.
So Wing Chun is Chinese, Jiu-Jitsu is Japanese, Taekwondo is Korean, and Jeet Kune Do.
Oh, I misread the question. I thought you meant which one wasn't Japanese.
No, which one of these is Japanese?
Oh, that
Oh, I
explains
assumed
it.
3
That
out of 4
explains-
were.
I wondered why.
So Wing Chun is Chinese, Jiu-Jitsu is Japanese, Taekwondo is Korean, and Jeet Kune Do is American / Hong Kong. Do you know who come up with Jeet Kune Do?
Bruce Lee.
Bruce Lee.
Yep.
His own stanceless
Okay.
martial art. Right, Barry. Which Japanese-owned video game console is the best-selling of all time as of February 2020?
Do I get an A, B, C, D, G?
No.
Switch.
Nintendo Switch?
Yeah.
It's the Sony PlayStation 2.
Okay. No, I was pure guess.
PlayStation 2 became the best selling in what year?
To this day,
to this day. Wow.
to this day, PlayStation 2 is the best-selling
Wow.
To be fair,
console.
who hasn't got one?
Josh,
Mm-hmm.
Super Mario's first appearance was as Jumpman in which 1981 arcade video game?
Super Mario sounds too obvious now. So
So
that's not my answer. That's not my answer.
Super Mario first appeared as Jumpman in which
He would have been a character in Pac-Man, I reckon.
Pac-Man?
No.
It was Donkey Kong.
Bollocks.
I imagine you would have known that, Barry.
Yeah.
Because you watched
Would
the
you?
documentary on it and you've...
I would have known all of your ones, funnily enough.
Oh, if only you stuck with your
You
guns.
did
But I
your
would not have
convictions.
known yours either. So, the Wu Jitsu, I wouldn't have known.
To be
any of
fair, I
that.
didn't know that. I
Right,
was so
these
cocky.
are probably going to get more difficult now.
And the soccer one I wouldn't
Yes.
have got. Oh, bloody hell.
But, I mean, it's nothing you haven't heard of.
Okay.
So, right,
Naruhito.
Barry, name one of the sports that Japan received a gold medal for in the 2016 Olympic Games.
It's not sumo wrestling. Is that the Olympics?
Is that a guess?
No. No. It could be table tennis, couldn't it? It's going to be judo, but I know they didn't invent it, or did they invent it? I can't remember now. Karate.
Okay, so they won a gold medal in wrestling,
Yeah.
judo,
Oh.
swimming, gymnastics, and badminton.
Oh, I should have said judo.
Should have
start
said
with it.
judo. Should
But
start
the
with
way
your guns.
when you said
Always stick with your guns. Josh,
Yes.
what is the largest religion in Japan practiced by nearly 80% of the population?
Oh, wow. I don't know. I can't imagine it's Christianity, so let's move past that. I can't imagine it's Buddhism either. Zionist monks. I don't
What's
even
it?
know what religion they do, 'cause what they
Zionism?
believe.
This one's... I would have got this because I've heard of it, but I know nothing about it. It's Shinto or Shintoism.
No, I've not heard of that at all. What does that?
I know nothing about it. I
I'll
just
look into that.
know
That's interesting.
that that is their religion. I know it actually from a game I used to play called Europa Universalis.
I played that.
South
Yeah?
Park.
Yeah.
Oh no, yeah, I
You
gave it
lent
to you on
it
CD. Yeah.
Good game.
Good game.
GG.
Barry. The current emperor of Japan is Naruhito.
Yep.
How
It's his
many other
birthday.
countries around the world have an emperor as their head of state?
Good question. 0.
0 is correct.
Fuck. Wow.
That was a ballsy move.
I respect that. Ballsy Baz.
Right?
Big Baz the bad bollocks.
They have gone bad, actually. Yeah. Let's get
Big
them
Baz
looked
the
at.
saggy bollocks.
Let's get them looked at.
Saggy warty.
Why do Japan still have an emperor
Uh,
and no one else does?
I don't know, really. I think it's kind of the same way we have like a queen, but her role in society or role in like government or whatever is like diminished so much that I know Japan during the Second World War, he was like considered like a deity kind of figure. I don't know if they still do that in Japan or not. It's really difficult because we don't hear much about Japan in this
No.
country, do we? Apart from just from the media or whatever, because it is the other side of the earth. It's so difficult to
And they
Things
live
to
very
translate.
different to us.
Yeah,
So
different language, different alphabet, completely different culture. So it's
And they're
very
quite,
hard to
not insular, but they're not They don't have the same kind of open border policy in the same
Yeah,
way.
well, they closed themselves off for 200 years completely.
Well, yeah. So
until the Americans came in and like forced them open.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, Josh, 2 nuclear bombs were detonated over the cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, respectively. Name one of the code names of the bombs.
Were they the first nuclear bombs dropped?
Yeah. Well, actually, no. There was test ones that still kind of count as nuclear bombs dropping, but this is the ones used in combat.
Okay. I would have to have a guess. Can I have a clue at all? Because that's quite a difficult one, I'd say. Are clues allowed? I've heard clues before.
Well, we've had clues for half a point. If Barry agrees to it, we do that.
Go on then.
Right, clue for half a point.
Good luck.
It's sort of a size of a male. Both are a male and a size.
Oh, yeah.
Or a description.
Don't pretend you know that. Nope. I've gone blank.
So it was Little Boy and Fat Man.
Little Boy and Fat Man, is that what this was called?
That's what the code names were, yeah.
Wow.
Barry, what is the Japanese name for the alcoholic beverage made by fermenting rice?
Oh.
Sake.
Sake is correct.
Sake. Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah.
I've never tried it.
Sake,
never had it.
We need to ferment some rice then, don't we?
I've never had it, yeah. Maybe we should get some.
How long is
Get it delivered.
Where's my
Deliveroo. Get on it.
Let me just look at the fermenting time.
What you?
If that's okay.
You got some Uncle Ben's upstairs that you want to...
I do, yeah. Boil in a bag.
Ferment in the bag.
Right, in the meantime, Josh, what remains the highest grossing film in Japan to this day?
It's Your Name. It was Spirited Away, but then Your Name overtook it.
It is Spirited Away,
Yeah.
followed by Titanic, Frozen, Your Name, and Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone.
I thought Your Name overtook it recently.
Or the Sorcerer's Stone in America.
I thought it did.
I thought it did as well, because then that other one, Weathering with You, came second.
I've never heard of Your Name, but I watched Spirited Away with You in about 10 years ago, I think.
Yeah.
It's a freaky film. If you've not seen it, listeners, I'd say you have to be on drugs to watch it. But I think if you watch it on drugs, you're going to be freaked out.
It's a wonderful, enchanting film that everyone should see.
Yeah, it's a very enchanting film, but it's freaky for me. I couldn't do it. I couldn't understand it.
So Your Name, it came out probably about 5 years ago, and I think they are doing a Hollywood remake, which might go either way, but it's beautiful, man.
Yeah,
it's a typical boy swaps bodies with a girl, boy, and they fall in love, but there's a different spin on it, and it is. You've seen it, right, Barry?
Seen what? Sorry,
Your Name.
Yeah, I loved it.
Beautiful film.
So I don't know about you, but Tony got us into Death Note.
Mm-hmm.
Were you into Death Note just independently?
Note,
that was really good. But then I watched a little bit of the American remake with you, and I couldn't handle it.
Oh, it's dreadful, man.
Terrible.
So bad. And
why they remade it?
The Netflix one.
Yeah.
They're doing a second. It's going to be awful.
But yeah, Death Note is on Netflix, at least in the UK. Definitely give it a watch. Don't do the films. I did the Japanese films. They're all right, but they condense so much of the storyline down into 2 films.
They've done
it can't really be done.
A one-off manga for Death Note came out like 2 months ago
by the same people.
Yeah, it's like it was like a one-off, one-shot episode, or like not episode, but like a one comic. And Donald Trump's in it.
Yeah,
and they kill him off.
I've seen you.
I think I sent you a clip of it. Yeah, I need to read that.
Barry, in 1998, the Winter Olympics were held in which Japanese city?
It's a trick question. Kyoto.
No, it's a good guess. But it was Nagano.
I don't know.
Sorry, these are the last 2, so they're going to be probably quite
never even heard of that.
Although I would have got this one, but because I'm just a World War II nerd. Josh, beginning on the 19th of February 1945, the Japanese Empire engaged in a massive battle on a certain island, which is famous for a photo of American soldiers erecting the American flag after the victory. What is the name of the island?
I know it.
Is it a Japanese island or?
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't think I know any Japanese islands, but I'm just going to say Nagasaki.
Nagasaki. I think Nagasaki's...
It's a city in mainland Japan.
I think you've heard of it, but it's not easy. It's Iwo Jima.
Iwo Jima? No, I've never heard of Iwo Jima.
Battle of Iwo Jima, Letters to Iwo Jima.
No.
Is that a song by
Snow
Patrol?
A war film. Right.
Oh, you smashed that. You weren't confident beforehand.
No, I'm glad
You should be really proud.
I'm glad I took my
Yeah.
side. Like I'm glad I kicked my way to the back to the front.
Karate kicked your way to it.
Thank you.
Right. Scores on the doors. Josh, you got 2 points. 2 out of 8.
That's
Okay.
dreadful.
Barry, you got 4.
That's really good, man.
4 out of
Well
8.
done.
50% right.
Yes, Shanghai. Wicked. Thank you. But it feels good to win. I never win
Yeah.
those. So
I bet you're going to like the quizzes more now.
yeah, I like them now.
Let's listen up, Knackers in the breeze. Listen up, Knackers in the breeze.
After the new year, I saw an advert on Facebook to join the dojo where they teach Aiitsu. It's spelled I-J-I-Itsu, something like that. I can't remember how it's spelled. But basically, I wanted to get into something different, so I thought I'll do that. And it was essentially Japanese naval sword fighting.
Naval sword fighting.
Not naval sword fighting. So it basically...
So once they're on land, they're fucked.
Well, it's,
You have to have sea
it's-
legs to do it.
It's really bizarre because I don't understand where the Navy side comes from, but I think that because it's essentially the Japanese version of the quick draw, so like you get your guns out and shoot quickly, it's kind of that
So
style
it's just
of sword fighting.
basically Japanese Pirates of the Caribbean.
Pretty much, but in a better, cooler way. So it's
Cooler than Pirates of the Caribbean.
samurais are cooler than pirates.
No,
don't
they
know.
are. They are.
I think
Pirates have rum.
Pirates just drunk
but
and.
samurais are so
Australia.
reserved. But when
And they're in the
go for it,
Caribbean.
go for it. I don't know.
Who would win, a pirate or a samurai?
Samurai.
Every
Samurai, yeah,
single
yeah.
time.
Yeah.
But
Guy with one leg.
are they cool doing it?
Super cool.
Well, they weren't, and this is the point of Aiitsu. So basically,
Okay.
samurais and carrying swords was really common in Japan up until I think it was 2 generations before the 1920s, which is when they invaded China. So no one carried swords for those 2 generations. Before that, everyone did.
Didn't the samurais get banned from carrying swords?
That
when,
might have been
like,
what caused it. So when the emperor sent them to war against the China, when they invaded China, the generals would carry these type of swords so that you obviously can distinguish them. And then the emperor, just when he was bored, he'd go along and see them execute the captured war criminals, let's say, or whoever they've just taken hostage. But where the sword is obviously quite curved, they're not designed to slash. So just trying to hack someone's head off is a disaster, and it'll take 20 or so goes. You're supposed to slice.
Okay.
So
Well, I know they used to do seppuku.
that's
Yeah.
where they cut themselves open, isn't
Yeah,
it?
so they cut their abdomen open and they get
Yeah.
someone else to cut
That's
their head off.
quite historic. Yeah,
And
when
they used to
they're
do
full
that.
shame.
They used to do that during the Second World War as well. If
Was it?
if they sort of lost the battle or shamed themselves as like a general or something, the generals would commit suicide
think so.
during
And-
seppuku, and it's like really like ceremonious kind of thing. And it's
Die with
not-
honor.
Yeah.
And they're very honourable in that sense. But so basically, where they were hacking these people's heads off, really undignified, and obviously the Japanese are very dignified in how they do things. The general was like, or the emperor, sorry, was like, this is ridiculous. This isn't bringing me any joy. So he kind of got all these old samurais down from the mountains and said, you need to teach these guys in the next 6 months how to use a sword effectively. Obviously, they've got generations of knowledge of how to use a sword effectively. They kind of boiled it down into what we call Aiitsu, which is what I do. And it is essentially just lots of subtle movements to create these big, bold shapes that would have pleased the emperor at the time. So it is all about, I'm going to open my, because if you just try to draw a sword out by standing still, it doesn't come out because it's too long. You have to kind of open your body in a certain way, move your hand in a certain way. And the guy who teaches me is like, right, your thumb has to be in a certain way at this point, your legs got to be there at that point, because it's so specific. So otherwise I'd cut my finger off. So basically what they taught is different scenarios. So in first scenario,
So is it actually like a fighting
It's-
martial art? So it's a bit like the Brazilian dance?
It's designed
Yeah,
as
it's more like
so basically,
ceremonial.
It's neither really. So basically, in traditional Japan, when you had people carrying swords, they were very egotistical, maybe. So you'd have 2 people come up to each other. Let's say there's a small path, and you and me walk up to each other. Neither of us would move that way for the other one. You would never walk backwards. You'd always have to go forward. So if you're in my way, you're going down, so I can get past you. So it's all about using your sword to create those spaces to get you out of the way. So if you're taught in this way, I'd be defending your sword and then taking out your hand and then giving you a chance to run off. If not, I'm going to do a big grand gesture and take your face off. And then they'll do a big grand way at the end with their sword so that everyone watching is like, whoa, we're not messing with him. So that's kind of the original purpose of it. If you're coming at me, I'm going to defend myself. So like one of the things I just did on a couple of Fridays ago was like, this is your scenario. You've got 3 people in front of you, 1 behind you. You've got to kind of dispatch all of them.
Fucking hell.
It's incredible.
Lesson 1.
Yeah, I learned
Dispatch 4 people.
But you got to kind of get your sword out, because if there's a guy behind you and he sees you going for your sword, he's just going to take you out, kind of thing. So you got to kind of take your sword out in the most subtle way, then a quick bang, bang to get him.
No.
And then in the same movement, bang, bang, bang. It's kind of like dancing, but with a sword.
That is awesome.
It is
that sounds
so
fucking
cool.
Brilliant.
I love it.
I'd love to see you doing the dance with the sword.
That's like in Game of Thrones, it's like you're the dance master. It is kind of dancing, like your left leg there at this point, and then your right arm at there at that point, sword up. But it's all very
It's sort of like capoeira with swords.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
So that's what I do Friday nights.
Hitler continues the bombardment of the south coast of England in the Battle of Britain. Countless men, women and children have been civilian casualties of the Luftwaffe's strategic bombing. Not knowing how to combat the enemy, Prime Minister Churchill sends a coded message to KnackersInTheBreeze to find out what Ryan and Barry would rather. Here in MI5 with the latest technology, Allied intelligence manages to contact KnackersInTheBreeze by sending a voice recording to their Facebook page, and also by sending a DM to their Instagram handle, KnackersInTheBreeze Podcast. Godspeed, Barry and Ryan. The future of Britain depends on you.
So for the next 5 minutes or so, think of me as Deirdre. Please. Yeah? Can you do that?
I usually think of you as Gladys.
That a lot of people do, but today it's Deirdre, and I'm a famous agony aunt, and this is a agony aunt that I've dug up from the vaults, and I'd love to hear your advice, and I'm sure the individual that sent this in would also love to hear the advice. This could trigger some feelings inside yourselves that you might struggle with, so feel free to walk out at any point if it gets too much, okay?
You got to look after yourself.
No, really, honestly, I really mean that. So
You got to check yourself before you wreck yourself.
I won't be offended if you get up and leave. I'll carry on out of respect to the piece.
But to the Emperor.
But there are counselling services and things that I can put you in touch with. So here we go. Dear Deirdre, I've been sending sexy messages to my mum on a social networking site. I know it's wrong, but it's so exciting. I'm 22. My dad left us 15 years ago. My mum is 40. I recently went on the computer after her and saw she'd been on a networking site. I was curious. So I made up a name for myself and messaged her from my laptop saying I like older women and found her sexy. She replied that she felt flattered. I asked... This is where it takes a bit of a turn. I asked her if she masturbates. When she replied yes, I know it's wrong, Deirdre, but it turned me on. She keeps asking for a photo of me, which of course I cannot give her. She's now asked if I want to cam with her, and I'm hoping that she will let me watch her without showing her who I am. I feel ashamed of what I'm doing, but the thought of seeing her without her bra is amazing. Would it do any harm just to watch her undress, then delete my address and forget about it?
Wow.
Well, I was going to say, like, if you're just doing it to give your mum a bit of confidence or whatever, if you're making up a fake profile, it isn't you. Because initially I thought he made a profile, he or she. Is it he?
It's a he.
Yeah, he made a profile of himself, added his mum, and then got message into his mum on the website.
As a joke, almost.
I don't know. Just that's where my head went, and
Right.
we still been messaging each other, and it's been great. We're getting into like all these sexts, but yeah, I was going to say if you're just doing it for,
I don't understand. What did you think it was?
I thought he created a profile of his real self,
his real self, right, and messaged his real mum.
Yeah,
and they were sexting.
Oh no!
Yeah. But now I know that that's not the case. No. I was just saying.
But would you be happy with that?
No,
okay.
But now I know that's not the case. My argument is, if you're just doing it to give your mum a bit of confidence, then just go ahead and this, obviously don't meet up with her. If you're just like making your mum feel good or whatever, just saying she's like pretty or whatever, then I don't know, it's not hurting anyone.
Yeah.
Until say you can't meet, and then carry on. But he is getting.
He's getting sexual gratification out of it.
When he's getting sexual gratification out of it, then it's a different thing.
I don't know if it is okay.
It's not okay. And I think there's obviously an unmet need in this lad because he needs his mother's attention. He's purely getting their attention in one way or another. And sexual attention, which is so warped. So when did dad leave? Sorry?
Let me just tell you.
For me, it sounds like you've got a lad who is quite traumatized at one point in his life. where he needs his
15
mum
years ago.
to
So
be.
he's now 22. His dad left 15 years ago, so he was
So that's
7 years
right?
old.
So there's something in that, maybe not for everyone. It's not traumatic, but for this boy, it probably was, because you've got a lad who's clearly wanting his mum's attention in one way or another. His mum wasn't able to give it to him at that age because of her trauma of the dad leaving. So he's still got that unmet need, and he's still doing that in a really warped, perverted way, and that's really scary. Actually, he needs to go see a counsellor or something.
Yeah, when he's getting sexual gratification out of it, then it's horrible. But like, if he's just doing it to make his mum feel special, then
I don't know if that's
carry on with
okay.
that.
I don't know, because I would hate. What if she ever found out? That would actually do more damage.
Yeah,
but he said he's going to delete his profile.
I don't think he will.
No, because it's not meeting that need.
Obviously,
He will keep going back.
do
He'll
it.
keep going
Don't
back.
get on fucking webcam and watch your mum
don't watch
masturbate. That's
your mum
weird.
masturbate.
But if you're just like saying, "Oh, you're an attractive woman," blah blah blah, before anything sexual comes out of it, then that would make her feel good, and then you could just sort of, like people do on dating websites or whatever, they lose interest. They just sort of suddenly stop talking, don't they? I don't see any harm in that.
I agree. In this specific case, I'm just going to go back to paragraph 3. He said, so he just added her, said that he likes sexy older ladies and that she was sexy. And then he said, I asked her if she masturbates. She replied, yes. I know it's wrong, but it turned me on. So I think he should never have asked that question.
No, he's getting something out of it, and he needs to say.
But you think that, just going back to the second paragraph, that just saying how I like sexy older women and you're a sexy older woman, that's all right.
Yeah, if it was just that,
and then just delete your account. Oh, gotta go on holiday.
Yeah, well, most people don't even say you got to go. They just delete it, don't they?
Right.
You
they just assume, oh, I've found someone else.
Yeah, I see.
And then she's still got the confidence or whatever, but just not.
Yeah.
I think you've just got a very traumatized lad who needs some counselling or something, because otherwise you're going to get a little Norman Bates on your hands. Because he says, "Oh, I'll leave it at that." He will just keep going.
Do you think so?
Yeah, I think that he needs help.
Would it do any harm just to watch her undress?
How long ago was this?
I haven't got dates, so we'll be honest with you.
Do you have it's a shame you haven't got full names, because we could look back and he's been arrested for.
Do you like taking showers in motels? Are you in black and white?
Yeah, no, that's messed up. He's obviously got something going on for him.
Do you like out of tune violins?
Well, that's great advice. Thank you both.
What advice would you give them, Barry? Deirdre, sorry.
Stop. I would say stop what you're doing. What you're doing is not natural. It's not okay. You're going to do more harm to your mum in the long run and to yourself. It's not sustainable. It's quite cruel in a way, almost. And it won't end.
I would have thought, as a Deirdre, you can't really say stuff as it's not natural. I thought you were accepting of all.
I mean, it's fundamentally wrong. It's very Oedipal, isn't it?
You can't. No,
Ryan, what were you doing 15 years ago?
I'm not saying do it. I'm being devil's advocate here. I'm saying,
I know you are, and I got no qualms in saying that.
I say that the actual Deirdre probably wouldn't say, "Nah, stop it."
Everybody has. If it was a victimless crime and he liked the idea of the fantasy of his mum, that's different. I would not judge him for that. But because he's actually embroiling her, she's involved in it, unbeknowingly, is masturbating in front of her own son, and will probably be undressing in front of him on a webcam. That's not okay. Yeah, because the victim.
Everything up to the webcam thing.
You're right.
Okay. I suppose. Yeah.
No.
The webcam
what if your
thing
mum was on a chat room and you wanted to?
Well, I wouldn't be chatting her up.
But you were just saying it was okay to do.
No. Well, I would say if your mum was on Tinder or whatever, and you want to make her feel special, creating a fake profile and.
You wouldn't go to those lengths, though, would you?
I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't. But I'm saying if someone did it, I would understand, and I wouldn't discourage it just because it's wrong or whatever. When it's like I want to watch my mum masturbate, then I'd definitely discourage that because it's wrong.
I agree, though. I think the original that sentiment is quite.
I get the
innocent
logic.
And lovely.
I get the logic, but it's not how a well-adjusted person would deal with that.
Well, he's not well adjusted.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying. That's my entire point. He needs help. This lad, surely.
That's my advice. I'd say, just please stop what you're doing because it's not fair on your mum. Because you started off with great intentions. Yeah. But as soon as you said, "Do you like masturbating?"
But on a conscious level, he has good intentions. But on a subconscious level, he is trying to do. It's about him.
He said that he does get turned on now.
Yeah, he got turned on at an earlier stage for sure.
So I would just say, walk away and, like you said, go and get some help. Just go and get some help. Try and meet a girl your own age.
What's that thing called where you try
and mix a 6-year-old lady who kind of looks like your mum?
What's it called when you chemical castration?
Right, okay.
What the fuck's that?
Where you like basically take away people's sex drives, and they used to do that. Didn't they used to do that to paedophiles as a treatment?
I still think it's a viable option. If you're
I think
a paedophile.
I think it is, because if they can't, there are genuine paedophiles out there who.
Well, it makes them impotent.
Yeah,
they just haven't got sex drive, so they don't have that kind of urges.
Like no libido.
So you get paedophiles. Well, I say paedophiles. You get people who are sexually attracted to children who can't. They hate the way they think and they won't act on it. So they go seek help at an earlier stage and they get chemically castrated, or they used to. I'm not sure. So
I think it's genuinely still an option.
So that they don't actually do these.
If it is an option
things.
here, it's definitely like an option in like China and stuff like that.
It makes sense. I agree with it. I admire actually someone that goes to that,
because they instead of acting on it, for sure.
Because if it's a disease, which no one's chosen to feel that way for whatever reason, no one chooses that.
Yeah,
and they've dealt with it before acting on it. I think
it's admirable, because you have to admit that to yourself.
Yeah, I think that does take. It's quite courageous.
With this case, it's all very Oedipal, isn't it? I don't know if that ever got is that discredited, the Oedipus complex and all that.
I think it's still legit, right?
Maybe,
it still holds some ground. I don't know. You tell me.
I think
we've got psychologists, we've got criminology people. I mean, I don't know.
For me, what
do you think?
I don't know. It sounds like they've had I'm going to assume there's been a lot of historical issues that's gone on in this house. Sorry to get really serious about it. It's just really irritating me. This boy needs help. So he's kind of gone back on a developmental level to that Oedipus stage almost.
Yeah.
So something would have happened at that point for him to keep regressing. Because he never got past that, is what I'm trying to say.
So in therapy, would we get to that point? We'll find out what it was. Is that how it works? I don't know.
Yeah. He needs to address the original trauma that didn't allow him to get through that stage. And what I'm guessing is that his mum wasn't available for him because of the split.
Yeah.
And that's why he's looking for attention now, because he never got that to get through those developmental stages.
Yeah, I think everything we were sort of taught in psychology, that all the Freudian theories have been massively disproven.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, you could sort of base some theories on it, but it's well outdated. And when you look back on like Freud's life, he was kind of like some sort of self-fulfilling prophecy, and he sort of used his sort of power and that to get with a load of middle-aged women.
Absolutely. And I think
he abused his power
with the whole, there's that Oedipal stage, let's say, where you want to get rid of your dad so you can have your mum to yourself. I think that is genuine thing, because you want to attach to your main primary caregiver, which is predominantly the mum, but it's not for any sexual gratification. It's quite normal to attach to one person and then you venture out. So I think that stands true, like the whole attachment side of things, but the whole sex with mums is weird. Well, your own anyway.
Yeah.
Someone else's is fine.
Well, thank you, my children. I really appreciate those answers. I'm going to pass those on to Derek. I mean, to our anonymous submitter. And thank you, Derek, if you're listening. I hope you take. Mr. Anon, if you're listening, thank you for that submission, and please heed the advice of our guest here today.
Derek in Cardiff.
There's that Alan Partridge sketch where it's like he thinks he might be gay. He's got a wife and kids. He wishes to remain anonymous, so we're just going to use his first name for anonymity. So here's Domingo from Little Oaksworth. Oh, he's hung up. Will that guy be able to get your letters if he's in prison? Because that's where he's at.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Knackers in the breeze. Knackers in the breeze.
I've got a game.
Whoa.
Woo.
That's proper like TV kind of. I've got a game.
Oh, hi, I didn't see you there. So, let me tell you about this.
Oh, hi. Oh. This is a game, and obviously I knew that it was Japanese themed in light of Emperor Naruhito.
Well done.
Thank you. And so I thought, what game can I do that's Japanese? Think about Japanese culture. And I thought of all the things all the normal Japanese stuff that you think about. We've covered a lot of it in this, car manufacturers to sake to sword fighting. It's all there. But I thought one thing we haven't covered is the TV shows that they do, which are fucking insane.
They're insane.
So the feature is surrounding game shows.
Wow.
And what I've done, I've found a lot. I've had to do a lot of like watching of them. And I've also put in some fake ones. This is the same structure we do for a lot of games. I'm going to name the game, describe it slightly, and I want you to tell me if you think it's real. Is that a real game that's really happened in Japan, or is it bullshit?
Wow.
Yeah.
Sounds incredible.
And the name is, I can't remember the name. There is a theme song.
Oh.
Is it real or is it fake? Is it real?
Okay. Is that offensive? Yeah.
I'm keeping it in, definitely.
Yeah, is that? it feels feels wrong. It does feel wrong. It does feel really wrong. All right. Okay, so I'm going to start with some games, and I want to try and with their true or false, and I can keep score if you want, if it really matters to anybody. Does it?
I think it
Can
does,
have a
yeah.
pen?
I mean, my confidence is at an all-time low with quizzes, so
I mean, this is
let's just work
but
together.
This is bullshit. So we win or lose, you lose almost. Okay, so you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, game number 1. The names that I've come up with for the game are not necessarily real names of the quiz show because it's Japanese and I don't know the language. So I've just described it how I see it.
Okay.
Sometimes. So candy or not candy? Okay. The game show is the contestant goes in and there's a whole room, like a normal room, and one of the items in the room is made of chocolate, but looks dead on realistic. And they have to go around the room, find it by literally biting everything, nibbling on it.
I mean, if you've made that up,
I
you're
think
on something.
from the shit I've seen on YouTube of Japanese game shows, that's not even
It's not
up
one
there
enough.
and weird. That's just like that's
It's
just
just
like
different, isn't it? It's
that's like
different.
morning kids TV for them. I think.
Yeah, and
I'd say
it could
it's
be a child
true.
show. It could be a
I'd say
child
it's
show.
true.
Are you able to
yeah,
tell
it's
us if it's a child show or not?
Yeah, I can tell you.
I'd say that's sort of Japanese culture as I know it all over. They like sort of sweet things, and they like people putting themselves in silly situations. So I think
It seems quite whimsical and daft. So
I
I'd
mean,
say
all of these
it
games
is.
are kind of that.
I
Yeah.
would say it is.
All right.
A real game.
Yeah, you're both correct. It's a real game. And it really is called Candy or Not Candy. So well done. You both get a point.
if this one doesn't come up, I'm going to tell you my favorite thing I've seen on YouTube of Japanese game show afterwards.
Well, it might come up. And the next one is called Squeeze Breast Party.
Is that the one you've seen?
No. I've seen a lot of things on the internet of that. But...
So basically men.
Sorry, Mum.
So all the women. We're going back to that.
No, not mums. Go on.
There's a lot of things coming out here.
Yeah, he was sympathiser over it.
Basically, right. So you got all the women are on one side, and their breasts are showing through like little holes, right, in the wall, so you can't see any other part of their body but breast. And the men on the other side, and they have to literally look across and identify their partners, which ones are their partners. They're like, oh, that's mine. But the catch is, so once you've chosen the breast, the catch is they know as well. The contestant knows this, that their mum and / sister are in the lineup as well. So,
fuck
and they have to go over and grab the boobs that they think are their partners.
I don't think that's come out of Japan. I think that's come out of Derek's.
Yeah.
Derek from earlier.
So, yeah, there we go. So it could be like, it's always a family. That's like the catch is, lol, it could be your sister or your mum.
I mean,
and you got to grab the boobs, but you get rewarded if you get, oh my God, you've matched the right partner with the right person, with the tits.
It's not even that out there when you compare it to things. Have you seen that?
Naked Attraction?
Yeah, that's things like that. It's
Yeah,
not
it's
really
very
that out there.
That's not grabbing, though.
But mind, like Japanese TV is very,
And it's not
not
anyone's
much restrictions,
relative.
is there?
misogynistic.
But
And,
I'm just thinking of, as I always do, I'm just thinking of Japanese porn.
Yeah.
They pixelate everything, don't
Yeah,
they?
they're
So I'm
quite
just
mod- but they
thinking, do
don't
they
pixelate
pixelate?
boobies.
Oh, they don't pixelate tits.
I didn't say the areolas were
But
out.
that's
I did not say that.
That's porn itself. That's not a TV show.
So can you clarify
I feel
what's
like
actually out?
they
Can I
would.
clarify?
I feel like they would pixelate tits.
I'll clarify that there are bras on.
Right. Okay.
Oh, okay. I can see it being a thing.
It's not raw tit, but it is very revealing.
And do you know what? I've changed my mind again. I think they're quite modest. And they like to keep up. In terms of sex stuff, I think they are. So
I
think it's
can't
close.
see anyone's mum and sister agreeing to it. I can't see that happening. So,
a lot of thought into this. Brilliant. Good point. All great
Knackers
points.
in the Breeze, we take everything so
Yeah.
So what are you saying then?
I'm saying it's false due to I don't think they're
You
quite
think,
modest
you think they're
sexually.
very modest sexually?
I
And you think your mum's
I
and
don't
sisters-
think they're modest. I think they hide it and it comes out. It comes like
On
bursting
national
out.
television.
No, it
Yeah.
comes like it bottles up and it comes bursting out. I think no one's mum or sister would agree to that. So I think it's false.
You are both correct. It's false.
Bang.
I made that up. So well done.
Good imagination though. I think that'd be an interesting game show
Yeah. It
concept.
says more about me as well, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That coming out with that. Okay. Next one. This one's called Be Cute or Get Pied. And basically, the game is there's all these women lying asleep on the floor. They're asleep, and these two men go around the room and they wake them up. And if they don't wake up looking cute, pied in the face with a green pie. Okay.
That's a great game.
Yeah.
I'm going to say true.
Okay. True. What are you saying?
Why do you think it's true?
I'm
I
going to say
think it's true, but
I think it's true just from the way Barry described it. If he's laughing that much away about something he's made up, then kudos to you.
Well, I just think, it's so silly.
I think it is true because I can see that.
No,
Yeah. Is it like a dating show? Like, do they go home with the winner?
No, not at all. No, it's just for the spectacle of, she woke up cute, she didn't. Pie.
Who wins? Like, does
there's always one
cutest...
let the cutest wake her upper gets picked by the two.
The Japanese public wins.
What do you think?
I think, I'll go for that. I'd watch that. True.
Yeah, you both go. So you're just going on. Yeah, I'd watch that. It's true. That's a real game show.
Fuck me.
Yeah, and I've seen clips of it. It's brilliant. It really is good. All right, brilliant. You're on.
I sort of wished it wasn't because you laughed so much about it.
Because it's just so.
I want to see you giggle about something you've made up.
That's daft, isn't it?
I'm not going to laugh now at all. This one's called again. Spread your legs. Basically, it's not really a game, I don't think, but there's like a woman. All very similar. There's a woman. There's two women. Woman with her legs splayed, and on a winch kind of system. And you roll the dice. The third person rolls the dice. And if it's like 3, she spins it 3 times, and it opens her leg 3 sort of more points. And the game is like whose legs will end up stretched out the widest.
No,
I'm gonna go true.
I don't. I can't see you making that up though. I can't see it being a real thing though.
You can't see me making that up.
I don't get why.
This is what I want. I want the doubt.
So we had a popular Japanese TV show here, the only one, which was
Takeshi's
Castle, which was weird in itself, but that was the only one that was sort of like acceptable to broadcast in the UK.
Because that's got nothing on all this stuff,
and that was fucking weird, but it's great to watch, wasn't it? But
one of the best shows of all time.
Because it's so fucking bizarre.
One of the best shows of all time.
But a lot of the events in that had no point to it whatsoever. And that is exactly one of those events that could happen but would not be broadcast in the UK.
It's quite a sexy show. I've seen clips of it.
Takeshi's Castle?
No, Spread Your Legs.
Oh, I thought you like Craig Charles.
It's not sexy, but it's meant to be titillating.
Have you seen the Unbeatable Banzuki?
No.
And that's kind of similar to, it's more like The Cube meets Takeshi's Castle, but it's hosted by Brian Blessed, and he's dressed up as a little samurai.
Fucking hell.
What? How's that passed us by?
Like, he's obviously been added on later to kind of be the Craig Charles and such, but he's in like this little samurai outfit.
How has that passed us by, Ryan? What is going on?
It's like real incredible feats of strength. It's incredible.
Oh.
And you got to beat the Banzuki character. But yeah, based on... you're going true?
Yeah, I'm going to go true.
I'm going to go false.
Okay. First time that you've gone separate ways.
Yeah.
Raya's come out the victor. It's a real game.
Well done.
And again, please check all these later on. These are all real.
You can send me all of them. I can put them in the link description of the podcast.
I can definitely do that. Yeah,
check the link description for all of these game shows.
Can you just direct message me them, please?
Yeah, I will do. Yeah,
especially that last one.
Okay, this one's again. Let's call it.
Send us Derek's mum as well.
Oh, I think she's busy.
So I saw a comment for this one that said it's called Milk It, but we don't know whether that's true or not. Basically, you've got a host of animals, mammals, and it's who can genuinely get the most milk out within like a time frame. I don't know what it's like 5 minutes or so. And it could be, and they've got to get as much milk out as they can.
You said, I've seen a clip or a comment where, so I don't know if that was a double bluff or not to try throw us off the scent, but I can see that being true.
I reckon it's a false.
I can see it being true. What type of animals are on it?
I didn't see it. I haven't seen it.
Oh,
this was just in a list of.
Unless you're getting Japanese farmers. I mean, most people don't know how to milk.
The top 15 wackiest TV shows in Japan.
I think
there were gifs of it, and I saw someone milking what looked like a cow. Obviously, and there's going to be a goat. I'm just guessing now. There'll be a goat. There'll be a cat. I don't know. But it's wacky, and it's probably one part of the whole game show.
I think that's a thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Ryan, what do you think? It says here.
I think false.
Before the buzzer goes. Okay. You've gone separate ways again. Ryan, you're correct. It's false.
Oh, I would have watched that.
Really?
Yeah, the lactators.
You just like going home with your wife going, it's on. I've got it on record. I didn't want to watch it without you.
Okay, this one's called Pizza Throw. You've literally
does it involve Heisenberg? You've
got to throw. This is literally the whole show. You're standing over here, and 20 meters that way, there's a microwave. You're going to frisbee a pizza into the microwave, and there's just a line of men lined up to have a go, and eventually somebody does it.
How big is the pizza?
It fits within a regular sized microwave.
All right, okay, so it must
regular
be
sized pizza.
Like,
not too big, but it's obviously quite well done because they can frisbee it. And do you know what the prize is if you win?
go for it.
Frisbee.
Okay.
Are you serious?
All expenses paid.
Wow.
Right. I think I'd love to go on that game show. I don't know if I do well.
I don't know how many goes you get. I will be honest with you.
I'd
I'd
just love to try it. Can we try that at some point? Can we get that sorted?
Pizza.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I know this is an audio podcast, but we can definitely get on YouTube and just get some sort of game show. If this isn't one, you're a genius and we're fucking millionaires.
And we'll do it. We'll recreate it.
The stuff you've made up, you need to do something with them. You need to pitch them somewhere.
You need to go to Japan, mate.
Milk it.
They'll be all over that. Milk it for all it's got.
I don't want to be the presenter of Milk It.
No, not presenter, just the in credits. Created from the mind of...
either.
You need a pseudonym or something. Like
yeah.
Barashimo. I think that's false because it feels like a lot of food wastage.
It does, yeah.
I'm going to go true. I think.
Are you doing that just because he's going false?
No,
you really think it's
I don't think Japan would care about food wastage. I don't think that would be a reason. I think it's wacky enough, and if a TV show could get away with just giving away a frisbee as a TV show, that's fucking genius.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping it's true, so I'm going to go true.
Okay, you've both gone separate ways for the third time. Ryan's correct. It's a real game. And again, I saw the winning shot. It's fucking epic. To be fair, it's fucking.
What's the distance?
20 meters, which is
Seriously,
a long way.
That is impressive.
It looks like it's from one building to another.
Do you remember those old like Nike adverts where people would do the frisbee and like throw it to one skyscraper to the other, and then someone would catch it like that? On the middle finger, and it was spinning, and they put it under their legs, and then do all these tricks, and then throw it to the. Amazing. I want to see the Japanese Nike advert of that, of just throwing pizza whilst it's still spinning.
They're probably sponsors of the show.
Taking little bites out of it. And then at the end, it goes straight to the microwave, and it advertises the microwave.
The big advert for curries.
Wow.
Or Deliveroo or something like that they have in Japan.
There we go. Well,
we can get straight to your house closer than you can.
Well, by using a frisbee system.
You can throw a pizza.
If we're setting it up here as a game show, that's it. That's sponsorship sorted. All right, I've got a couple more.
Delivery.
We have had like a few downloads from Japan. So if you're still listening, person from Japan, please just get in touch with any media person you know, and maybe we could be big.
This one's I don't know what you think about this one. There's a man, right? Pants down, dick out, right? You don't see it.
You don't have to demonstrate. Put your trousers up, Barry.
Well, you do see a bit of it.
It's pixelated, surely.
There's a woman.
Well, I can see a little bit of it, but you got your trousers fully down.
I'm calling this gay v straight blowjob challenge. And basically, there's a woman and man, one's gay, and they both take turns to suck his penis, and he has to guess which one was the man or the woman, like the gay or the straight.
False. I think I don't know about how accepting they are in Asian culture, or not even Asian culture, Japanese culture of the homosexuality.
I can't see them.
But bearing in mind,
but I think they
spread your legs was real. Bear in mind,
yeah, but she's not naked underneath, is she?
Tit game. Oh, that wasn't real.
And they're boobed up.
All right,
brought up even. I can't see that being real. I can't.
I don't think they'd do it over Japanese broadcast television.
Do you know what? I would say they're very hot on. I was reading a thing before about like suicide rates and people who do not come out as gay because they feel like it's bringing shame on things or whatever. Mm-hmm. I can't imagine they'd have a man sucking a guy off on TV. So I'm going to say false.
Yeah, where would you get the participants?
Would you go on that? If you could be on TV for X amount of money to be sucked off by a man and a woman, would you
were you expecting me to say yes? You pointed specifically at me.
If you're in a dark place, maybe.
So, Ryan, I know you pretty well. You'd go on, right? The reason is I brought an application form for you.
No, that's exactly my point. No one would go on that.
No.
That's my point. No one would actually happily...
All right.
Well, there's quite a few reasons why I wouldn't go on. And the number one was I'm not homosexual, so
but you wouldn't know. You can't see.
Oh, you're homosexual if you get sucked off by a man. But
you mean would I be a contestant?
Yeah.
I thought you mean would I be one of the?
You did get quite offensive.
It's interesting.
One of the participants.
No, you'd be the main contestant, so you wouldn't know.
Yeah, you're a contestant. You're not gay if you get sucked off by a guy and you don't know it's a guy.
Definitely not.
It sounds like you've said that a lot before.
Well, I'm just got to justify it, right?
So you're saying no?
False.
Right, it's real.
Fuck off.
We'll watch it later on.
What's it called?
Well, let's not. We'll look it up later on. Do you want to ruin the game? It's called Gay v Straight Blowjob Challenge. All right, we're nearly done. We're nearly done.
I'm so done.
This is called life seed swap.
It's just ironic because that's what they said.
Right, are you ready for this? There's a woman.
She's getting cunnilingus by someone. Man or woman.
Is it son or father?
So basically, it's a whole show, and you get to know the characters, and you get quite attached to them and stuff. But the gist of it is, she has like 4 or 5 vials of sperm, matosa, from different men.
Sure.
She's looking to get impregnated by one of these men. She does it. She gets to know the men, but she doesn't know who sperm belongs to. She has to smell the sperm, and she judges on which sperm she chooses.
Well, as I know it, bukkake is a martial art in Japan.
Thursday nights.
Yeah. There's loads of contestants to that.
It's a naval martial art.
That's good.
That was good.
Guys, can we get back to the live seed swap? What do you think? It's a bit like a dating show, but with a twist.
What? It's not been on, but it's something very similar-ish on Jackass when they had to do the challenge of who could fill up a cup with semen the quickest. So they had to go into a private room and wank into a cup.
This isn't that. No, it's more of like a dating show. But
I mean, that's in America and broadcast in the UK. This is in Japan.
I see. In terms of
they're much more.
Yeah, they're pretty crazy.
Flippant.
You don't see them
There's
doing
different
that.
Purposes.
No, obviously you didn't see him do it, but
no. But there is
you don't see it in
on
Jackass
TV.
either. But
yeah, sperm vials. So what do you think? Come on, there's something around the bush.
I think it's quite a wholesome idea, so I reckon true.
All right.
I'm going to go false.
Okay, I can reveal that it's false. That is not true at all.
You've won all 4 heads. Yeah,
I'm pretty good at the
yeah. We're down to the final
game
2
shows. It's like I do research.
I can't believe there's so many. Okay, this one's called Bum Cheeks. Arse out of the hole. Very similar to the tit one. Contestants. Oh, that arse is my missus. I'll grab that, and that's my missus. That's the game. Can you pick your wife from just her arse? Is the game. What do you think?
Yeah, I'll go true. Just sort of some sort of like
a lot softer than
Mr. and Mrs.
Was the boob one false?
Yeah.
I would say this one's true.
Correct. It's true. Great show. Brilliant show. All right, final one.
You got it Sky Plus.
You're a creep. This one's called Bloodbath.
You're a creep. Let's get back to Bloodbath.
So basically, contestants, again, I don't understand the language. I don't know what's going on, but they're being asked questions. I think every time they don't get a question, well, there's a timer. They've got to get X amount of questions right. Each second that they're not answering a question right, obviously it's filling up with like whatever blood it is, like cow blood or whatever. And it fills up until it's like they're covered in bloodbath.
Filling up with blood of animals and stuff is too much. I think it's going to go false.
All right, bear in mind that blowjob, gay, straight blowjob contest was real.
Yeah, but that involves no death.
I was going to say they're different. I think you're right. I think they're very rural and a lot of farmland. I can't see them wasting all that blood. I feel like they'd slaughter animals for the sake of it, and that's not okay.
A lot of your arguments are based around wastage of. I can't see them throwing it away. The financial aspects of it.
They wouldn't waste pizza.
It's false.
Okay, you're both correct.
Please be false. Yeah,
you're both correct. All right, scores on the doors. A lot more game shows than I thought there would be there. I'll add them up. Give me a second. Talk amongst yourselves.
You smashed that.
Actually, I will just say my favourite clip I've seen of a Japanese game show is. Have you ever heard of like the candid camera?
Yes,
sort of things in America of like they put up in the situation.
Right. Yeah.
It's like but you did get put up in the situation. No worries. You might have even done something illegal, but no worries. It's on candid camera. It's all fine. We just want to see your reaction. One of their Japanese like candid camera things was he's sitting in a room for maybe a job interview or something. People with balaclavas burst into the room, start shooting up the room and kicking all the furniture. The people they're interviewing like fall down with blood spurting out of them. And all the cameras focusing on his face and how he's reacting, and he's just like, how do I describe it over audio? Just like stiff-faced, like not even like if in your like drama or whatever, and you say make a scared face. It's like a pure face of scared. It's just stiff. It's like, like you kind of freeze if like a car pulls out in front of you, and his hands are over his face, and he's there for like a lot longer than you expect, maybe about 3 seconds or whatever, and then they go, hey, it's just candid camera. It's just Japanese candid camera.
I just don't understand how you can go from like
That's
the
hilarious.
beautiful Spirited Away, the really enchanting animation and all that, to fucking traumatizing someone for the sake
I
of-
thought I was gonna die.
like, fuck me. No,
I mean, I agree, yeah. But bear in mind,
I've pissed and shat myself.
for an ITV show before 7 o'clock,
yeah, but
prime time.
spread your legs is real. Like, you can't go from. Do you know what we forgot about this so early on? Be Cute or Get Pied is a real show.
It's bonkers.
I've seen other ones where they have to like burst balloons and stuff, and they have to just sit on it in like a very suggestive sexual
in my research,
way.
there's some insane ones. Like lots of objectification of women is huge. So
Oh,
there's one where women
even
have
in
to
like
like
anime and stuff
to
like that,
like
isn't it?
capture
Computer games.
coins in their bras and knickers, and it's like they get to take home all the coins, and it's like that's the show.
And this is the culture that like supplied like geisha girls, and they're so like sexually modest. But this is what I was talking about earlier, where it's just kind of like bursting out, flowing out.
I was going to say they're quite repressed, and they, like you say, it's spitting out over the seams.
Are you ready for the scores?
Yeah.
We know who the winner was. The
Right.
winner is Japanese culture. Josh, you got a respectable 5.
Cool.
Yeah, pretty good. And Ryan, you got 9. So well done. I don't know who's the real winner there. There we go. Thank you.
Is it real or is it fake? Is it real?
Right, so that was episode 35 of Knackers in the Breeze. If you want to ask a question in, then get in touch. It's knackersinthebreeze@gmail.com, or go on our website, www.knackersinthebreeze.com. There is a little tab on the side that says Ask Us a Question. If you want to ask us a hypothetical question, then send one in and we'll answer it on the next episode. But until then, sayonara.
Thanks for listening.
Konnichiwa.
Wrong greeting. My favourite animal is the Adolphin.
Amazing.
So to celebrate,
Need a new poipus in life. Okay. Make a note of that.